hotel investment incentives approved recently by the cabinet as soon as the executive regulations are finalized.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest, Dr. Sayegh, our tourism expert. A very good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for joining us. And just before we get talking about the latest developments in the tourism sector, let me ask you, about the one of a possible tourist attraction, which is the Kulthum Museum, for people, of course, interested in this kind of artistic kind of tourism, visiting a museum documenting the life of one of the most renowned Arab and Egyptian singers worldwide. Doctor, how do you see this as a possible tourist attraction for artistic enthusiasts?
Well, actually, the Museum of Kulthum is one of the most beautiful small museums of Egypt. That museum is not that seen in the media. We don't see it in the touristic programs, and it should be well presented as the location of the museum is an exceptional location.
Yes.
It is an island, El Manial Island,
yes.
and it's just in front of Old Cairo, which is a place very, very famous with the presence of the three religions, which is Islamic, Christian, Judaism,
Yes.
between synagogue, temple, also mosques, and the churches. Not forgetting that in front of those beautiful, beautiful, beautiful religious buildings, we will be in front of Kulthum Museum. That will include, beside it, the most famous palace of Egypt, which is El Monasterli Palace,
Yes.
a piece of art realized on that island. And there is a hidden gem, which will be the well that has been created to measure the level of water during the flood. From there, it represents two important things for the Egyptian civilization during the Islamic period,
Yes.
which is the rights of the human being and the justice of the Khalifa. Because due to that level of water, we'll be realizing the level of taxes on agriculture lands, which show the right of everyone working on that land and the justice of the Khalifa to put the right taxes.
Absolutely.
The beauty of that well is tremendous, as it's full of ornaments. It has the right level concerning the measurement of the flood. As we can see, the low, the middle, the high. It has the right panels to get the water in and out without keeping, let's say, the mud getting with it.
In the way,
also, once we are on that island, we'll be seeing Kulthum that is well appreciated by the whole Arab world,
Yes.
that like to visit Old Cairo with its mosques that's over there, like Amr ibn al-As, which is the oldest one in Egypt. Not forgetting the huge project going there at El Fostat area to realize a new museum. And we have already one open, which is Museum of Civilization with the Lake El Fostat. Also surrounded, we are realizing our days a lots of art gallery for the pottery of Egypt. So putting
It's a very,
that
very
museum,
rich area indeed, with
exactly.
lots of
And the museum
sightseeing.
is, if you get inside, you'll see all the clothes of Kulthum, the instruments she was using, and also her real life, the newspaper, the typewriter, everything is in and presented in a very, very nice climate. It's fully conditioned, everything in its beautiful, beautiful vitrine. So it's one of the most appreciated one. And I will advise everyone coming to be there to spend the whole day in the area.
Absolutely. Right, Doctor, let me ask you quickly about some of the most preferred destinations, especially in winter. Winter tourism is very popular in Egypt. How do you see this year's winter tourism?
Well, for the winter tourism, if we'll get out of the map that is always for touristic companies, and as you're mentioning, Museum of Kulthum,
Yes.
so there is a lot of art galleries in Egypt. When you cross Cairo, look at what's going on now in Cairo from yesterday till tomorrow. We have the Art Cairo that is going in the gem, the museum, the Grand Museum.
Yes.
So it should be really a point of attraction for foreigners that should come to Egypt just to look to the art that is going on. And inside of it, you can see the Palestinian, the Armenian, the Egyptian. There is work for Gauguin. There is work for Renoir. It's an international. It's a piece of art.
Indeed.
And also, if you go, for example, to Fayoum, and you will visit the area where they work the pottery, you know, they have a very famous area over there where you can go. It's called Tunis. And if you walk in between, galleries are endless. Those who work the pottery are real artists with accommodation, a view to the lake, local food, local accommodation. Well, that's a gem of Egypt when you go over there. And it didn't take its real size on the touristic map. That's our role, as you're doing now your program, to put the publicity for Egyptian gem. That's a very good destination. Going from there, you can go to Wadi Rayyan, you can go to Valley of El Hitan, where you can see pieces coming from 30 million years in the middle of the desert exposed. When you go to Wadi Rayyan, you will see the lake. You can go to the sand as if you're going, for example, to make some ski board over there. You can make your tour with a small boat on the lake. Egypt got a lot of beautiful things for the winter where you can really enjoy.
Absolutely.
There's, of course, above going to Upper Egypt, nowadays Egypt has opened all the area from Minya to Luxor. You have Asyut, you have Sohag, full of sites like Dendera, Abydos, also the monasteries that has been now opened with the government that realized for us a beautiful, big, huge routes that can get you there. Hotels now has been built in Minya, a lot of them giving on the Nile, so we can enjoy the Nile. The largest place in Egypt is over there.
Yes.
It's over there, they exceed 700 meters large. So you can enjoy a view like if it was the sea.
Yes.
Even over there, we call it the Great Sea. We don't call it the Nile.
Yes.
And you have at Minya some pharaonic sites like Bani Hassan, Tal al-Amarna, Tuna Jabal, El Ashmonin. That's a beauty to see those statues and those tombs and the life of Akhenaten that everyone in the world is dreaming to see his site, the palace where he lived, the tomb where he has been buried, and so on.
Absolutely,
so, yeah,
Doctor.
We are the richest all over the world.
Absolutely, Doctor. I'd like to thank you very, very much, Dr. Simon Sayegh, our tourism expert. Thank you very much, sir, for all your time and your insight and for joining us on today's edition of Cairo Local Time. That's all the time we have for today's episode. You were in the company of myself, Anju Meher. Thank you for joining us.